Tell you what, 6 months in, Steve, and here we are turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
That was Marjorie Taylor Greene expressing her frustration about how this whole Operation Hammer at Night went down. And who the fuck names this shit? I mean, I'm assuming that whoever named this is a Marvel fan because you wanted them to put the hammer down.
What do you plan on doing here?
I've come here to put an end to Loki's schemes.
And prove it. Put that hammer down.
Yeah, no.
Bad call. He loves his hate.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Well, yeah. And you see how everybody got flattened when that hammer got put down? Well, that is exactly what's going on over in Israel, Iran, because Israel broke the ceasefire. Trump came out big mad and had this to say, and I don't want to hear any more MAGA complaining about progressive using cuss words because your guy used the F-bomb. This is what Trump had to say about Israel breaking the ceasefire.
I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either.
Well, again, I hardly ever agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but she was right. And dare I say, Trump looks good in this blue and no makeup. He needs to quit putting on that fucking orange pumpkin makeup. His hair actually looks better this morning, and that blue looks good on him, but we're not going to claim him in the Democratic Party. But what did we say, or what did I say yesterday? And then I got flooded with MAGA all over the place talking about what Hillary, what Biden, what Obama would, could have, should have said they would do. But what I do know is that Obama had a ceasefire agreement in place with Iran. And because Trump has such a hard on to be Obama, he ripped that shit up and then got goaded by Benjamin Netanyahu milk, just like he wanted, to get America's ass involved. And y'all just heard Marjorie Taylor Greene co-sign what I said, MAGA. So make sure when you start replying, you mention that Marjorie Taylor Greene said it too, because it's the truth. We should not have tried to use strength to make peace. We should have tried to use our dollars to make peace with Israel because we basically arm them with everything. We give them all the money to do everything, and we are giving them money, and then we're helping them bomb their enemy when we should keep our noses out of this shit. But today, Israel decided that they are going to retaliate, and now Iran, who MAGA, y'all said it before, if someone attacks you, you have the right to retaliate. Don't try to jump out the bubble now and go back on your word. Iran is threatening to retaliate by shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. And I know for a lot of you MAGA folks, when I say the Strait of Hormuz, you guys are thinking about crushed beans that you use as dipping sauce, hummus, but that's not what it means. Let me show you what could possibly happen if they shut down the Strait of Hormuz, because, ladies and gentlemen, that strait is a strait that moves 20% of all the world's oil, which means if they shut that shit down, most likely oil prices are going to go up because Trump is not going to cause on companies to start trying to release more oil too quickly. And even if he did, his dumbass thinks that the Department of Energy is responsible for doing that, and they're not. Private companies are responsible for pumping out more oil, and they are pumping it out as best as they can right now. And so granted, you will see a small pinch in what you're going to pay for gasoline if this happens. It might not be for that long because we've seen this happen under Reagan, and the American economy only suffered a small bit because of the issues going over there in the Strait of Hormuz. But it did take a couple of months to get things back to where it needed to be, and the American people had to pay for that. And this is what's going to happen again because Trump could have used a different way to get his point across to Israel and to ceasefire over there, but he wanted to go in with Operation Warhammer, and now we might be drawn into something that's going to hurt the economy, hurt military troops, and then just drag out more deficit that we'll have to pay when we should just be cutting Israel off, period, to force them to do what they need to do. So now Trump is headed to the NATO summit, and that probably is going to be one of the most uncomfortable summits we've ever seen before. But I need you guys to just understand how this affects Americans and definitely how it affects Black Americans. If this shit plays out, Black families who are already kind of on the bottom of the income pole, the wealth pole, we're going to be dealing with not only losing husbands in the military, but then if gas prices go up, energy prices go up, we're going to be pinched even further, which is going to happen to all Americans. But there are a whole lot of other Americans who are in a better position than Black minorities. And dare I say, can weather the storm a little better, even though they shouldn't have to. But we have to pay for America electing your crazy grandpa who decided to escape his retirement community and try to be president. Y'all voted for this shit. And now you're going to have to contend with it. And all I can say is for those of you that believe in praying, say your prayers. But I think that with prayers, you have to have actions. And our actions brought us Trump, which is not what prayers meant when they say you got to have prayers with action. Last thing Trump messed up under his first term because he's got a hard on for Obama. We've got a new strand of COVID that's popping up this summer. This strand of COVID causes severe sore throat, really bad sore throat. And if you haven't been vaccinated in the past, or you've been one of those ones who's been in the conspiracy bubble that vaccines don't work, you might want to think twice. Take a listen to a professional who's having to deal with this summer COVID increase.
Summer 2025, and yes, COVID is still evolving. A new variant is quietly surging, and you need to hear this before you see another summer wave. This new variant, NB181, nicknamed Nimbus, has already jumped from just 5% of cases a month ago to over 1/3 of US cases right now. It's a descendant of Omicron, you remember that. Early data suggests it's likely more contagious, but the good news, it's not as severe. It may have some immune escape, meaning prior vaccines or past infections may not fully protect against it. WHO has flagged it as a variant under monitoring, and scientists are watching closely as it spreads globally. Could we see another summer surge? Absolutely. More contagious variant, waning immunity, fewer people recently vaccinated, and confusing new vaccine guidelines, especially for pregnant women and kids. Symptoms of Nimbus are similar to other variants: stuffy nose, sore throat, fatigue, fever, body aches, breathing issues, and in some, really cases, severe illness and hospitalization. Now, here's the part that gets less attention. Long COVID is still a major concern. A study in Open Forum for Infectious Diseases followed patients for 12 months. Physical recovery improved around 3 months, but check this: mental health, depression, anxiety, brain fog often took 9 months or more to improve. 20% of patients still reported poor quality of life after 1 year. In another study in the Journal of Medical Virology, looked at patients 3 years after infection. 20% still had at least one symptom, like shortness of breath, fatigue, insomnia, loss of smell, or anxiety. Even worse, those who were hospitalized during the initial infection face a higher long-term risk of death. These studies are now painting a clearer picture. Long COVID isn't rare, it's real, persistent, and
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is important that you get your ass out the bubble and protect yourself. And again, how does this affect Black people? We are some of the most underserved folks in all the country. And if we're not getting the vaccine properly, we are basically spreading it. And we need to raise awareness on COVID because it's never really disappeared. It died down, but it hasn't gone away. And I need all Americans to go out there and get this vaccine because I don't want to see any of y'all sick. I disagree with a bunch of you MAGA folks, but unfortunately, the Democrats are always the ones having to vote for the best interests of everybody while y'all sit there and vote for the best interest of what makes Democrats upset. Having said that, for those of you that like what I'm doing, there are links in the video description to all of my channels. Politics of Being Black YouTube, Politics of Being Black TikTok, Politics of Being Black podcast. I team up with a very, very up-and-coming hot superstar in TikTok named Claire. We formed each other like Voltron to be the Claremont Show. We have a podcast. We have a YouTube. We have a TikTok. She has an individual TikTok. All you got to do is click on the description in this video to join us on all our platforms. We're going to go live today. If you want to catch us on the Claremont Show, please do. Please share me. And we're out till that next Sexy as Hell Politics of Being Black video. We're out of here.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.